Alright, this is my database program, which I modified quite a bit. Uh, so, basically what this does, so basically it uses two files, or two variables, which refer to the same file for input and output, because the previous program, if you wanted to add in a student, it would write it to a separate file, which you would have to copy and paste into the database for searching. But this one, the compiler thinks it's putting it into a different variable file, but it's actually, they both refer to the same exact file.
Okay.
So then the actual entering in the students is fairly straightforward. I used character arrays because I'm pretty tired of using AP strings and it's messed up.
What is the purpose of this database for us? Just to remind everybody, a database is just a way of storing and retrieving information in a structured fashion. For example, if you want to store a person's name with their address and their email and so forth, and you want to create records for, let's say, 10,000 of your favorite friends, okay, then you would probably, most likely would want to store it in a database. And if you look at the way things are stored, like on an iPhone or in a social media or something of that nature, they use on their side, they use databases for it. So what is the purpose of this database?
This database is sort of like for education purposes. It has the student's last name, the first name, a teacher, and their password.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay, great.
I haven't actually put a password lock like Skylar did at one point.
Okay.
But it should be coming up soon.
Okay.
So input is actually a character array, but I discovered that if you did see an input, it would, like, if you had 5 characters, the first 5 elements of index would actually fill up with what you inputted.
Right.
And so then I decided to use that while also using the function flushy, which basically initializes input with a bunch of caret symbols, so that, like, if you have a caret symbol in there, it just ignores it. So
and how does it do that? Let's go down to flushy and tell us.
Yeah, it's right here. Input is actually a global variable. And so then I overloaded it with data, which is the initial for searching. I'll explain it later. So that's basically all it does. Input is 100 length. So then with the input, it keeps putting it in. So, like, if you enter your teacher, then it puts the word teacher into the file.
Okay.
Then it inputs every character in the input, except for the carets in there.
Except for the carets?
Yes. Because those are just, like, considered no pointer kind of
okay.
They're like zeros. So then ID is just a random number. So I could fill that up. So then we use loops, what are they called? Go-tos and labels for the input, for like yes or no. Go back and keep adding. So then we use search is a separate function all by itself. And so I use data, however, is not a global array, and so I have to use pointers to pass it over to the search function. So what this line does is when it goes, so this if statement checks if the line it's on is the line containing the last name field, which is for every student, it's arranged in last name, first name, teacher, password, ID. So the last name is indicates the beginning of a new student. So then ST is if it finds a match, then ST, which is our sort of checkpoint variable, it sets it to the beginning of the ST word so that it can display all of the information for the student.
Okay.
So then this just basically looks at the first 2 characters of your input and basically checks it to every single thing that's in the database file, including the labels like last name or first name.
Right.
So then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 while loops, which all do the exact same thing. All they do is just display.
Okay, go ahead. Continue talking to the class for us. I'll be right back.
Just hold the microphone.
Yeah, go ahead. You can continue. Well, here. Go ahead. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
All right. So then all these do is just display the actual characters, because I need separate ones for each one because of the spacing, the new lines. So then it keeps a count of how many students were found, and it displays that over here, and that's basically it. So let me run it.
Says one error.
Oh, you're kidding, right?
One error. Cannot open include file random.h. It doesn't have random.h. That's interesting.
Oh, go to tools. At the very top. No.
It's only with this computer that
add random.
it's only up with this computer that
customize.
messes up everything.
Go to, I'm sorry, tools options. Workspace? And let me go to directories. Yeah, it doesn't have it. No, add a new directory. Click the, yeah.
Comments from Merle.
No, go to drive.
Oh, shame.
Press, yeah.
C.
No, W.
More than one.
Just go to the,
Use random
no, students. Preparatory. Computer science. Yep, and no C++. Include.
Thank you, Shane.
Hit OK. Hit OK.
Hit OK.
Okay.
Now wait, copy that for us. Copy that link. Right-click, copy. Now go click on the drop-down arrow where it says include files, and where it says library files, also click on that. Also add there, paste, double-click on that, and paste. Okay, now you're fine. Now it can. Now it'll run.
Randomize undeclared.
You changed something about
Yeah, come to that.
Now it should work.
There we go.
Thank you.
Let me open Anyone want to add in their name to my database? Or should we just... Alright. Okay, hang on.
Stefano Tufts.
Oh, Shane.
No,
I'm sure it's part
yeah. Shane Spriley.
Alright.
Stefano Tufts.
No, Shane. Shane Riley.
Tufts.
Like,
Tufts.
Shane.
Well, Dean.
Tufts. Tufts
Transfer. Maracas.
Moracas.
When did you change your name?
teacher?
Dean. No. All right, let's see the database.
You should be able to, like, can you run the program and then open the...
Wow, good.
And ID 11.
Now it gives you a random ID number?
Yep.
Okay.
What if you get the same one
Okay,
twice?
now what can we do with this information?
The program actually can search for it if you go on to option 2.
Cryptic.
Okay.
Like,
You should be...
Two.
Oh.
Like I'm just gonna look for Morel and see what happens.
Okay.
And so it finds that one.
Okay, what about capital? Try capital, see what happens. Okay, so it's different, yeah. Okay, Shane, what was your question?
Can you open the text file from the,
No, it doesn't
program?
actually. No, it actually doesn't.
You can with the shell execute command
yeah.
that Alan did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Very, very good program. I could see for us the usefulness of this in a lot of other
Yeah.
wider applications.
Yes.
For example, storing the embed codes for the screencasts. We can give it a random ID, we can give it a title,
Yes.
and we could search for that. You know, for example, supposing I just want of the 400 some odd screencasts that I've made in the last 2 years, supposing I just want to search for C++ screencasts made by students. So I could just enter C++ and it'll give me a list
Yes.
of the screencasts and their embed codes. So I could just quickly copy the embed code and paste it in the Go report.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Very good for us. Okay, let's do Alt P. No, Fred, no.